All right, I've decided to share a meal with you. One of my staple meals while cutting. Let's go from fat to shredded in I don't know how many days, but we're doing it pretty fast. So, welcome to one of my kitchens in one of my houses in Queensland, Australia. We have got chicken breast, okay? We love breast and we love chicken. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna weigh it out. And so right now I'm fasted. Fucking hell, Jesus. Right, perfect. Okay, so right now I'm fasted, and when I'm fasted, it's all good, right? But we want to have some chicken, and some chicken without any, what do you call it? Without any fat. So just chicken breast. Fork from yesterday, because YOLO, I don't give a fuck. You know, if you just if you're eating clean food, which is from nature, or you're killing chickens and eating that, your fork, the one that you used from yesterday, is still sweet. If I ate salad with no dressing and just vegetables yesterday with the fork, guess what? Today, that fork is still going to be good. That's called nature. Life hack. So here's what I do. When I get the chicken, it's got about 20 grams of, well, it's over 100 grams of chicken, which is 30 grams of protein. You only usually need 20 grams of protein to stimulate the muscles. Meaning if you only have 10 grams of protein, or you have like a protein bar which only has 12 grams of protein, it's actually not enough to send the signal to your muscles to be like, hey, you got enough protein, you can go and repair your muscles. So in a meal, you do have to have more than 20 grams. So that's just generally, fun fact, easy. That's my meal. Looks pretty bland, right? But this is where we get exciting. Turmeric. You use a bunch of spices. All spices have no calories, or very minimal, right? So it really doesn't matter. So what I do is, especially when you're in a cut or dieting really hard, your body's lacking nutrients that it needs. And spices are just herbs, and some of them have, you know, things like selenium, magnesium, potassium. They basically have little micronutrients that helps your body run. So while you're not getting a lot of food, you're probably becoming deficient in a lot of stuff. So I like to, generally speaking, take a bunch of spices, whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So turmeric, you do it like this, just like a bit of salt. Perfect. That's my turmeric done. Then we take cumin. We'll add a bit of cumin, right? Here's the thing, there is no rules, right? And because you're not using sauces or you're not using fat, it's gonna be pretty shit without spices as well. Sometimes I like to play on no spices, paprika, right? And people are like, but what about the taste? And like, that's too much. And here's the thing, do you like paprika? Yes, put it on there. I usually also put cinnamon on there. Have you ever, like, why not put cinnamon on there? Pepper from peppercorns, right, bang. And then I've got salt. Remember we talked about, in a couple of videos before, talked about electrolytes. Well, this is a little hack. Light salt, it's 50% sodium, 50% potassium. Now, that does mean that if you have a lot of this, you're gonna die, right? So don't do that, but it does have a little bit of potassium in it, and that helps with the electrolytes, helps with the water balance, and gives me even more energy than I already have now. And that, Bob the Builder, is right there. I hope you can see that. That's the meal. And you know what we do from here? Really simple. We just take it and we eat it. For some people, it's just wild, right? That tastes good. Do you know why it tastes good? It's not because it actually tastes good. It's because I don't have a lot of processed food and my body is hungry. When your body is hungry, when you're putting something in your mouth that is beneficial for it, it will taste a lot better because you're actually hungry and your body's like sending you a reward signal. Hey, eat it. Like, eat it, eat more of it. that's good. It's like, that tastes good, eat more of it. That tastes good, eat more of it. That's all it's really doing. So I call this, and in my book I explain it, it's called the ST signal. It's called the smell and taste signal. If the food doesn't smell good or it doesn't taste good, it either means that, it usually just means that you're full, that you're not hungry. Because when you're hungry, any calorie tastes good. Any calorie tastes good. So a good way to stop overeating is just to focus on your smell and taste signals. For example, when you're hungry, hang on, let me. When you're hungry, and you sit down for dinner, and you've got like a bowl of pasta in front of you. You're like, oh my God, that's so good. Or a fresh pizza has arrived and you can smell it. It's like, oh wow, it's like amazing, right? It's our natural body signal saying, hey, have more of this. This is great, right? Then you start eating the pizza. What happens by the third, fourth slice? Well, it's no longer like, oh my God. It's not necessarily even smelling like it did before. It's tasting good, but not as good as the first slice. So what's changed? The food hasn't changed. It's the same fucking pizza. What's changed is your body has given you a signal. It's saying, hey, we're not giving you so much positive reinforcement of stuff smelling amazing or tasting good because we have enough nutrition now so you can stop eating. So overeating is actually relatively simple if you focus on smell and taste signals. If it smells good and tastes good, it's good. And when it stops tasting as good or smelling as good, it means you've eaten enough. Really simple, right? Now, the cool thing is being an ex-fat person, well, currently I'm fatter than what I used to, is you think that we're lovers of food. And you're like, I love eating, I love the experience of food. And a lot of people go like, oh, I'm a foodie. Here's the thing. If you're actually a true foodie, you want to enjoy your food as much as humanly possible. And to get more enjoyment out of food, you need to be hungrier. The hungrier you are, the better the food will taste and smell. So if you're a true foodie, you will actually make sure that you only eat when you're hungry, because that's when you get the maximal, that is when you will get to the maximal enjoyment out of your food. Okay? So right now, if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, guess what? You're not hungry. If you're looking at that and you're like, man, I don't know, seems weird. Chicken breast and a bunch of spices, seems a bit weird, but I'll give it a go. Means you're probably a little hungry, right? But in general, when you're hungry, stuff is good. Focusing on that signal, the smell and the taste. Now the cool thing is if food smells bad, it's also like back in the wild when we didn't have language and we were walking around with sticks and we were like, berry, we'd smell it. You see monkeys, you see animals like smelling their food. Why do they do that? They're like, is this edible? My natural instincts will tell me if this is good for me or not from my smell. And what the processed food companies have done is they've actually tried to cheat the system. For example, there's ice cream companies, and I can't mention them, that have actually designed that when you open the ice cream, you open that ice cream like package, the plastic wrapper, and when you open it, it releases an initial smell that they've put, which doesn't exist in the ice cream at all. So what happens when you open it, you get that smell. That smell is like, that's good. And then your brain is confused. You're like, this must taste good. Then you have it and you're like, I guess that tastes good. And you've got that sugar, which gives you that instant little bit of rush. And they hijack our smell and taste signals. They literally hijack our smell and taste signals for you to keep eating and overeating. So sometimes we'll be like, I'm hungry. Well, you're not actually hungry. You're just addicted to sugar or you've been caught in the trap of whatever the processed food company has created for you. Now, I'm glad you're here with me, spending my lunch. It's 1 p.m. right now, afternoon, 1:30. I don't know what the time is. It's 1:30, 2 p.m. My last meal yesterday was at about 10 p.m. and I'm fasted all the way through. I woke up, had my electrolytes, had my water. Then in about an hour's time, I had a good big cup of coffee, long black, nothing else. And the coffee is kind of worn off now. And then I'm like, okay, cool, I'll eat now. And today I'm doing things a bit different. I'm eating now, and then I'm gonna go work out, because it's been a bit of a all over the shop day. I've had a meeting, I've had business, I went to see my partner, her family's breaking down, mother and father are getting divorced, children, messy, needed to be supportive of her and needed to also help her, give her some mental models to work through this tough period. Because it's all about mental models. As you know, I've become a little bit obsessed with mental models, and I think I'm going to coin the term, but not sure. But the mental model to get from here, and what I'm trying to give to you right now, is that when you're hungry, all food will taste good. So, do not be afraid of eating less, because it'll only make your food taste better. If you are on a diet for a prolonged amount of period of time, spices are great. Use the spices. The spices are great. They have minor micronutrients in them, and they don't have any calories in them, and they make stuff taste cool. My sister used to laugh at me, right? When she would watch me make chicken, and I would have dessert chicken. I'd just put cinnamon on there. I'd have cinnamon chicken, because you're allowed to do that, you know? Just because it's not out there, just because it's not written, it's your life. You can do whatever the fuck you want. So, if you like dessert chicken, put some cinnamon on your chicken. Literally, here's the recipe. It's a free recipe. You get some chicken breast, you cut it up into even thinner slices than this. Have a look. That's a relatively thick slice. Can you see that? That's pretty thick. It's like my finger thick. Right? Cut them up real thin, like slivers, like little chips of chicken breast. And then on some of them put some cinnamon, on some of them put some pepper, and then maybe a tiny bit of salt as well over the top. It's like, imagine it, it's like a donut. It's like, you know, the donut where they put like rock salt on it? Well, it's like donut chicken, cinnamon donut chicken with a bit of salt. Mamacita, right? So that's that. And that is what should be done. But the mental model is simple. It's very simple. Smell and taste signals is a surefire way to begin to stop overeating at the very least. It's very simple. When the food doesn't taste that great anymore, stop eating. Because you're not getting the pleasure anymore. And we all like to feel good. It seems silly to continue eating when it doesn't taste amazing. You know how I used to eat boxes of ice creams. Your first ice cream is like, yeah. But by the 6th ice cream, you're like, what? What? Like, I guess I'm eating it because I need to finish the box. I don't know. You're just in a habit. You've been caught in a processed food trap. So, you know, that's how I see it. And that is correct. Smell and taste signals. So simple. So simple. We're already born with it. You don't need anything new. You've already got it. I don't need to sell you anything. You don't need to buy anything from anybody. No one's telling you this because no one's going to make money on you that way. You know, if I tell you, instead of buying, instead of getting personal training, if we just say, hey, start smelling and tasting your food, and when it begins to taste not as good as when you started, that means you're full stop. And the hungrier you are, the better the food will taste. So sometimes either skipping a meal or eating less, so therefore your dinner can taste better, is a smart decision, right? For example, for dinner, I might have a steak today, or I might have fish, which has more calories in it. So with chicken and chicken breast, there's not a lot of calories in here. There's only off 100 grams of chicken, 150 calories. I think, yeah, 150 calories. So 150, 160 calories. So if I'm on that amount of calories, I'm still going to be hungry. I'm going to go work out and I'm going to burn another 1,000 calories. I'm still going to be really hungry. So my dinner is still going to taste fucking amazing. So for a lot of people, choose the meal that you really want for yourself for that day, right? Let's say it's dinner. And you're like, I'm really looking forward to dinner, or I'm really looking forward to breakfast, and try and be as hungry as possible for that meal. Simple. Well, not so simple. For people to, it is simple. Jeez, I'm all over the shop. It's called chicken. I can't. It's very simple. To lose weight, the first thing you must do is not actually lose the weight. The first thing you must do is stop gaining weight. If you can stop gaining weight, which means stop overeating, it means that even when you do drop some weight, so if you do drop some weight, you won't put it back on. Most people go like, yep, I'm gonna go lose weight, then they snap, and then they gain the weight back. Because the first thing you need to learn is how to stop gaining weight. Because we've all lost a couple kilos here and there before, and then they come back on. So imagine if all the times that you lost a bit of weight, it just stayed off. Well, you would be in a much better position than you are now. Or I might be talking to you and you might be already amazing and already lean, and that's great. And maybe you don't want to lose weight and you're just following the journey. Fuck yeah. Point is the first thing you're going to do is stop overeating. Overeating is a hard process for your body to do. It's overfed. It doesn't know where to store it. It needs to create fat cells, convert it, store it, put it somewhere in your body. Then you're heavier, more lethargic. Like, that is a hard and difficult process for your body to go through. So don't do that. So the first thing you're going to do is begin to stop overeating. And if you focus on your smell and taste signals, it actually covers pretty much 100% of it. Well, 99. Then you've got to deal with the processed food addiction. But that's for another day. Mate, you bloody fucking legend, as Australians would say. I'm Australian, Ukrainian, and Jewish. But me personally, I don't identify as anybody specifically. So, I guess that's it. Thank you for having lunch with me. That is 150 calories. You can have the same experience of feeling so great by eating so little if you are hungry. Chicken, that's going to fuel me in the next half an hour to 40 minutes. I'm going to feel like that's kind of processed a little bit, and then we're going to go smash some weights and cardio, because usually I'm fasting during it, but now I'm not fasting because I've had some chicken. It's going to be great. You should be here. Love you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed this side of, my business. Believe it or not, you're here for the first time that I've ever filmed myself eating. Weird. Like, people are like, nah, show us what you eat. And I'm like, no, because what I eat is not what you need to eat, which is correct. If you go, people are like, eat that. You shouldn't just eat that. Everybody's different. Every place is different. Your taste buds are different, and where you are on your journey is different. So I've always resisted this. So don't look at this and be like, this is what I should eat. Just take the mental models from it. ST signals, smell and taste signals. It is a trademarked actual mental model that you can get in The Psychology of Weight Loss, the book. If you haven't got it, get it. Only if you're looking to lose weight. If you're not looking to lose weight, don't get it. And if you're looking to lose weight like permanently, like get in control, it's guaranteed. If you don't lose weight and you follow the book, it's literally step by step, step by step, step by step. It takes you through the mental models. If you finish the book and you haven't gotten lasting control over your weight, I guarantee the result 100%, and it's fully refunded to you. And then we'll even go through a phone call and I'll apologize to you profusely for half an hour. Don't know if I can do that, but nobody's taken me up on that offer yet. But generally speaking, there has not been a single person that has got through the entire book that has followed it that hasn't gained lasting control over their weight. So food for thought. But if you're not in the place of like, oh, maybe I'll get this, it's the secret answer, don't get it. That's not the reason. What you need to be in is you need to be in the place where you're like, you know what? The line in the sand is drawn. I'm making a difference to my life. I'm standing for change. I'm going to be hot, sexy, fit, whatever that is, female, male, whatever that is. You need to have that crunch time where you're like, you know what? My life, I want to feel better in my life. And when you can come to that decision, you go, I want to feel better and I'm going to feel better, then we're here for you. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. And the camera's really far away, so you know the YouTuber thing that they go fucking, yeah, see you tomorrow.